I stand firmly in the fact that I'm one of the best to ever do this. For the culture, for my coast, and for my city. This is the Best Rapper in LA podcast. And I'm your host, Murs. What up, though? All right, moving on to yesterday and today. Last week I forgot to say, my voice is garbage on Barbershop. Not that I love my voice anyway, but I was, and I don't know if it's because we were drinking. I was drinking, not thinking about acid reflux. I didn't know what that was just yet. Eating and laying down. And musicians get it worse because musicians that tour on buses especially, I think, my opinion is that we have it worse because when you eat and then you hop in your bunk and the bus starts moving back and forth, the acid in your stomach, you're laying horizontally, it just kind of flows up and down your digestive tract. Fucks you up. No one told me that. I'm telling rappers that now. If you're on the bus and you're eating, make sure you sit up. Me and Chris Calico have sat up for hours because we both have it bad. And I forget, he pops some kind of Tic Tacs. He pops Tic Tacs. I think that's what he had. And we sit up and watch a whole season of something. Chris will sit up all fucking night, bro. And we talk. That's my brother. But yeah, because if you lay down right after you eat, once you get it, it activates it, but that's how you get it. So even if you're at home, try to sit up straight and not eat so late. I always go off on a tangent, man. But my voice sounded like shit for numerous reasons. Also, I was doing so many shows, I would just do albums in between tours. No rest for my voice. Care for your voice and your vocal cords. If you're serious about this profession, now you have YouTube, you have no excuse. Get educated and take care of yourself. There's all kind of remedies I give people now and ideas that I've come up with over the years, but man, there's some Chinese syrup that work. I used it for when I set the Guinness record for rap marathon.
Hey guys, what up? It's Murs. On October 12th, I will be attempting to set the world record for longest rap marathon. You got it? 24 hours of rapping done by yours truly. You can watch it live and it will be brought to you from Unlimited Music Streaming by Boost Mobile and Slacker Radio. Get out of here. See me then.
Please look it up. I don't remember. My homie Jay and his wife hooked it up. She's a voice actress and that helped. If you're into voice acting, make sure you check out Voiceover Camp. I don't know the fucking website, but just Google Voiceover Camp. Kritzia Bajos is the founder and one of the teachers who's been doing voiceover work for years. It's most notable, or for the longest time, it's been The Sims. But she's Jean Grey in the new X-Men video game. And there's a shit ton of other things. League of Legends. Her voice is fantastic and she's famous. And if you want to learn and get into voiceover, you can really learn something and get some work. She's dope. She's a great teacher and she has great people in her Voiceover Camp community. Shout out to them if you're into that. I never know who's listening or what they're listening for. Maybe I just changed your life. Take advantage of that.
I ain't getting out of bed today. 9 to 5 to survive, there's gotta be a better way than waking up early to punching the clock. How I look a grown man with my lunch in a box, but my kids need socks and shoes. I'm walking through the office, yelling, who you talking to? Don't you know on the streets I would've... Never mind, the past is the past, I gotta leave it behind. But man, back on the block, I was a bona fide hustler. Spot popping off until the police rushed us, handcuffed us, I thought I was gone. Could've cried thinking I'd miss my son being born, but I was blessed, beat the case, now I'm trying to reform. But these white folks make it so hard to move on. You gotta jump through hoops, anger management crooks. But the fact I'm still standing here today is proof that yesterday I felt the most hated, I thought I couldn't take it, they said I couldn't.
Yesterday, I felt the most hated, thought I couldn't take it. They said I couldn't make it. Today, I'm feeling brand new. I got nothing to lose. Get out my way, move. Yesterday, I felt the most hated. Changed up a little. Thought I fought until I made it. Today, I'm feeling brand new. I got nothing to lose. Get out my way, move. really easy when the song writes the hook for you and gives you the subject matter. It wasn't like Bad Man where I had two different ways to go. This was pretty straightforward. I Ain't Getting Out of Bed Today. From the great Bradley Noel, Sublime is performing at Coachella with his son. How amazing is that? Shout out to Rome, though, who's held it down for years, but we know my Sublime story. I'm still shouting them out. 2 albums later, started on End of the Beginning, still going now. Still one of my favorite bands. One of my sons likes them. All my sons like them. One of my sons loves them. Man, I can't say enough. I could quote him, but that's definitely from a Sublime song. And it's crazy what people think it's just a t-shirt brand. I ain't getting out of bed today. 9 to 5 to survive. Gotta be a better way to waking up early to punching the clock. How will look a grown man with my lunch in a box? But my kids need socks and shoes. I'm walking through the office, boss yelling, who you talking to? Don't you know on the streets I would've... Never mind. This is songs I'm writing for my boys. I am not going to punch in the clock, but I knew people who were getting their life together, who could have really walked another path, who actually did walk another path, that were struggling to do the right thing. Some of the struggles are the struggles they shared, some of the struggles I imagine. But I think I was right on point because a lot of people through the years, especially black men, have told me that they feel this. How a grown man with my lunch in a box with my kids. And I got box lunch with me today. My wife gave me some noodles and some leftovers to come do this podcast, so I didn't have to order the things. But my kids need socks and shoes. I'm walking through the office while yelling, who you talking to? Don't you know on the streets I would've... Never mind, the past is the past. You gotta leave it behind. Man, back on the block, I was a bona fide hustler. And this is stuff you think to yourself, because if you're really trying to stay at this job, you're not going to actually share this. Spot popping off until the police rushed us, handcuffed us. I thought it was gone. Could have cried thinking I missed my son being born, but I was blessed, beat the case. Now I'm trying to reform. White folks make it so hard to move on. You got to jump through hoops. Anger management groups. The fact I'm still standing here today is proof. Some of it imaginary. The energy is for my friend who was getting ready to come home. I believe his brother passed away, and he didn't get to go to the funeral. But I was writing him. Yeah, the brother of somebody close to me. So I was, he was telling me about what it has to do with the halfway house and blah, blah, blah. So I was incorporating some of that. But in my mind, he didn't miss his son being born, and he was able to beat the case. So kind of projecting something positive. But things you have to go through, like visiting him at the halfway house changed my perspective on, it's part of the prison system that kind of gets glazed or glossed over. I'm like, you're home, but you're not home. And, it's like they had to let you out, but then they're doing little shit to make you want to go back, and you're just one step out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Oh, man. It's a trip, man. It's really a trip how they get you, man. Some of the homies, imagine you get caught for something, and then, now they're saying weed is medicinal, and we knew that. Like, I wouldn't have made it through high school without fighting or whatever else, or getting beat up. Something would have happened to me in high school if I didn't have weed to kind of focus me on my work instead of hearing the noise, which was people, bullying me or making fun of me or whatever. I made the bus rides home and sitting in class a lot less intense. It dulled all the stimuli, the negative stimuli in the atmosphere. And maybe, your frontal lobe's not developed. Maybe you shouldn't be smoking weed, but it helped. And that's why I think I started to have a negative reaction and panic attacks when I no longer needed the medicine. When I was out of high school, I stopped smoking weed. I couldn't. Even towards the end, once I found a group of friends and I had a routine and I felt safer and more confident, and just I given up on trying to do homework, and I was, 50 absences, 0.5 GPA. I knew what I found my purpose. I didn't need it anymore. I only needed it to sell to people. I needed to be a medicine man. I'm not a drug dealer, but people saw me as the law saw me as a drug dealer, saw me and my friends who are dealing with PTSD, or we're all dealing with PTSD. but were dealing with it more severely than me, needed it. And so you release them from prison and you expect them not to self-medicate, but they can drink. You know, that's so cultural. Like, you know, in my experience and studies and research, equatorial peoples, warm weather peoples, brown people, POC, whatever you want to call them, are smokers. We're not really drinkers. Like drinking, squishing some potatoes and making fucking gin or whiskey or whatever, the vodka keeps you warm in Siberia and Ireland. That's definitely, it helps you. We're a honey wine people. We're smoking people. We're shrooms and peyote and shit like that people, man. Like, fuck we doing? Like, why won't you allow us our medicine? Because you want us to be sick. And having homies come home and then get violated for pissing dirty for THC and going back. And that counted as a strike. Like, there's so much shit they do to trip us up. And now it's like, oh no, we were wrong. It is medicinal. Like, you can't I'm from the era where you can't give my brother their life fucking back. You can't. Man, I got a homie right now. The son he couldn't be there for is now facing multiple years. You can't fix that, motherfucker. You can't fix that by employing black people at a fucking dispensary. You can't retroactively fix my fucking community with these fucking new laws, man. So it's with a heavy heart that I see and accept some of this modern day weed shit, man. I'm sorry, I'm getting angry. But that's what I'm rapping about right there. Once they get you, they can just trip you up over little shit. Oh, you didn't show up to your anger management class. Well, you got to go back to the halfway house. And you got to, and I don't fully, I only understand the second hand. I'm not that, but like I'm sitting on the benches outside. I'm, you know, like writing to people who are visiting people who are going through this. And I learned some of that from like E40's music when I started to read interviews, and he was saying like, or he would say in his music like, these are I'm talking about my little homies. I don't do this shit anymore, but I'm still outside and I'm around this and I want to be the voice. I'm reading some Nas interviews. Like I love it when artists can say, no, this is not what I'm doing, but I've been next to it and I can articulate it better than my family members or my comrades in the struggle. So me kind of taking that up for that verse.
On to the next, it was all about sex when I first met my little baby girl, Lynette. She was standing at the bus stop, sucking on a lollipop, eyes collard green, lean thicker than a pork chop. Stop, cause I don't eat swine, but this girl was so divine that I had to make her mine. Called her phone a few times, she thought I was funny, fell for it like a dummy, it was all for the money, yeah. Growing up in the hood, you would think I understand, but I never understood why she rarely came around when my dough wasn't good. Now you could call it puppy love, cause I got dogged out. Now in all my notebooks I got a name crossed out, but she lost out. I just lost profit when she left me in the cold. Heart broke like my pockets and felt the most hated. I thought I couldn't take it, they said I couldn't make it. Feeling brand new, I got nothing to lose, I'm about to make moves. Felt the most hated, I thought I couldn't take it, I fought until I made it. Feeling brand new, I got nothing to lose, get out my way, move. You know them days when you just got the blues, all stressed and depressed from just watching the news. No matter what did you do, it seems you always get screwed. Got you caught up in your feelings, now you off in the mood. Shake that attitude and do what you can. Set a couple goals, follow through with your plan. Time wait for no man, and tomorrow's not promised. So if she's still alive, shoot a call to your mama, cause the fighting and the drama is just not worth it. Nobody's perfect, ain't none of us worthless. We all got a place and we all got a purpose. Now I'm not taking y'all to Sunday service, but you clap your hands as you stand up and work it like your grandmama used to do that fan down at worship. Spread it, pop it, and wave it in my face. Put your hands around your waist, let me rock it to the bass like yesterday. I felt the most hated, I thought I couldn't take it, they said I couldn't make it.
On to the next. It was all about sex when I first met my little baby girl, Lynette. She was standing at the bus stop, sucking on a lollipop, direct LL reference.
I love it when a woman is scared to do a thing. Standing at the bus stop, sucking on a lollipop. Once she gets pumping, it's hard to make the hottie stop.
Top 5, all time, never changing. Top 3 is never changing. Ice Cube, LL, E40. Standing on a lollipop, eyes collard green, lean thicker than a pork chop. Stop, cause I don't eat swine. This girl was so divine, I had to make her mine. Called her phone a few times. She thought it was funny. Fell for it like a dummy. It was all for the money. Yeah. Growing up in the hood, you would think I understand, but I never understood. All right, let's stop there. This is a little metaphor. I don't know if everybody gets it. I always say it and I look at the crowd like, y'all don't know. But y'all could know. But fell for it like a dummy. It was all for the money. An MC8 song.
'Cause ain't nothing funny. I guess it's all for the money.
Gia is how MC it. That's his catchphrase. Before people had their own ad-libs, rappers had their own, like, Gia. Like I tried to do What Up, though. But Gia, that's the MC8.
Gia, MC8's in the house.
Gia,
And then Growing Up in the Hood is my favorite Compton's Most Wanted song. So Compton's Most Wanted is a group with MC8 in it.
Wake your punk ass up. The MCA's back in the motherfucking house. Kicking a straight gangster shit for the 9-1, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Growing up in the hood, yeah boy, 1984 was the year my peers didn't know what was in store. A little hard hit kick came of age, time to pay my dues, learn the tricks of the trade. And at home it's the same ass story. Moms treat me like she don't even know me, but my younger brothers got much clout. I can't take this shit, so I bones the hell out and run with the pack of wicked motherfuckers. No shorts are taken, we down black brothers. A little nigga with no problems at all. Fucked up and killed my first 8-ball.
So yeah, fell for it like a dummy. It was all for the money. Yeah, Growing Up in the Hood. You would think I understand, but I rarely understood why she rarely came around when my dough wasn't good.
you would think I understand, but I never understood why she rarely came around when my dough wasn't good. Now you could call it puppy love, cause I got dogged out. Now
that space there is part of Ninth making me take out a line and just letting it resonate. I don't know if I'm flubbed or wanted to go back and fill it in. There's something else there, but it ended up being space. And it's perfect because on that point in the show, I pull out my pockets and it gives me time to do things on stage.
Fell for it like a dummy, it was all for the money, yeah. Growing up in the hood, you would think I understand. I never understood. She rarely came around when my dough wasn't good. Hands up, LA. Call it puppy love, but I got dogged out. Now in all the notebooks, I got a name crossed out, but she lost out. I just lost profit. She left me in the cold.
And this is a song I hated performing because it had the hook in there. Ninth gave me the instrumentals with I thought I couldn't take it. I said I could. To this day, I still have to rap over my own vocals, and it makes me feel bad.
Yesterday, I felt the most hated. I thought I could take it. They said I couldn't make it. But today, I'm feeling brand new. I got nothing to lose. I'm about to make moves. Yesterday, I felt the most hated. I thought I couldn't take it. I fought until I made it. Today, I'm feeling brand new. I got nothing to lose. Get out my way, move.
Once again, shout out to Marcel P. Black, who is leading the Rappers Don't Rap Over Your Vocals movement.
OG of the anti-over vocalist.
Now, you can call it puppy love because I got dogged out. Now, in all my notebooks, I got a name crossed out, but she lost out. I just lost profit. When she left me in the cold, heart broke like my pockets. To me, once again, I'm like silly girl. Like, these are good metaphors, imagery, wordplay that I'm doing without cursing and on topic, which doesn't get a lot of props in hip-hop still. Still, bruv. Still. Yeah, you know them days when you just got the blues, all stressed and depressed from just watching the news no matter. I stopped watching the news, I don't know what year, but it's definitely improved my quality of life, and it would frustrate me when I would go home and have to sit with my mom and my stepfather, who I love sitting and talking with, but we would have to watch the news, and I would just see how it dictates the conversation the next morning in the house. And then these are things that don't actually affect any of us. Or if they do affect us, and we need to be doing, they don't really affect, a lot of it doesn't affect any of us. But doing something about it is great. But I think you see it on the news, and sometimes it's kind of like Instagram now. You talk about it, you post about it, you feel like you've done something. And a lot of times you haven't done anything. And so if you feel some way, whatever side of the issue you're on, donate. That's the least you can do. Fuck the posting. I don't post. I had a friend kind of say something sideways, I'm not going to post. I didn't look at your page to see if you had a black square or circle during BLM. I didn't look to see if you marched. I didn't look to see if you donated. I don't give a fuck. How do you treat me? How do you treat your children? How do you treat your spouse, your partner? How do you treat your friends? How do you treat your mother? You know, how do you worship and respect your God? How do you keep your word? That's what I care about more. But I think there are people who should be educating people and posting, but I'm not one of those people. And you need to recognize when you are one of those people and when you are not one of those people. So those people have the authority to speak, and letting them speak and reposting those people can be helpful. If you see something, but posting yourself or just posting, I don't know, man. It seems like watching the news, like it's just creating to this. Oh, it makes people feel helpless. It makes people also feel like they've achieved and done something when they've done nothing. So there's good and bad. I'm glad the truth can get out there, but you have to be wary of what's the truth. Now you have no way to fact check. I love that my child had an assembly about disseminating information you receive from all these sources, because that's going to be a necessary skill. So first necessary skill that will help him in the future that I feel, aside from reading and writing, that I feel they've given him at school. Like disseminating information. And still with this system teaching him those skills, it makes me worry. But at least he can start down the path and I can help refine that. Please make sure that you are breaking down the information and researching the information you see before you repost. Are you reposting just to get a dopamine hit and to feel like you're in with the gang that's saying the right thing? Or are you reposting for the right reasons? Who are you reposting? When, those are things are really, really important. But this is a time where I was fed up with the news cycle and still am. I don't watch it. It was a trip to have to, like, the weather in LA has been so crazy lately that you kind of have to watch the news like a lot of my brothers and sisters do on the East Coast and in places where it gets cold. Here, you look out the door, it's sunny. Oh, it's cool. It's cloudy. Okay. I need a jacket that I could take off because the sun will come out later. That's LA weather when I was growing up. Not so much these past couple winters and springs. So I've been watching more of the news and it still holds true. I'm like, wow. And I try to shield my children from it. Like, they don't need to know that there was a fucking dead body found in Oxnard. How the fuck does that affect their life? How does it affect my life? It's none of my fucking business. You've been talking about it for 3 fucking days. They want you scared. They want, like, I'm going to not lock my car door, not lock my front door personally, even where I live. Like, I know I can't live in fear of seeing too much real shit. Something we didn't get into last week. We'll probably get into around Dreamchaser, but I wanted to get into it last week because some more shit happened today. But yeah, I don't feel it. I don't like it. No matter what good you do, see, you always get screwed. Got you caught up in your feelings. Now you off in the mood. Shake that attitude. Do what you can. Set a couple goals. Follow through with your plan. This is right after Lyft told me this on tour one time. Something so simple. It was just like, I was stressing out on the bus. Because when you get on a tour bus with people, you get to make these relationships and you get to talk to people at some of their darkest or weakest or purest hours. You get, especially once cell phones got in here, like you could see them take a call in the back of the bus and then come to the front of the bus like, you got to be there for your brother. Sometimes they're drunk. Sometimes they're sober. Sometimes they're high. Sometimes we just came off a great show and they get a horrible call. Like, you get to see so much. It is kind of like going to war, and I don't mean to cheapen or disregard with the severity of what going to war is like. But in that, it's like I used to call it, it's like the deadliest catch, like going out fishing on some of these shows. There's a brotherhood there. And he just told me, like, man, you got to do your best and then go to sleep, bro. Get some rest and so you can get up and do your best tomorrow. Do what you can. Set a couple goals, follow through with your plans. That's what you have control over. Time waits for no man, and tomorrow's not promised. So if she is still alive, shoot a call to your mama, because the fighting and the drama is just not worth it. I'm so blessed to have one of my best friends, and him, unfortunately, losing his mother at an early age always gave me a reverence for my mother. As bad as things got, I could never look him in the eye and say anything silly or stupid or petty about my mother. And that kept me in check. And I'm not grateful for his loss, but I'm grateful for his wisdom and his strength, because it helped me to see gave me so much fucking needed perspective that so many people I think need. Like, that's your mother. And that this is my way of sharing that with the world. Like, just, if she's still alive, shoot a call to your mama, because the fighting and the drama is just not worth it. Especially because we come from a culture where, unfortunately, it's become more normal for mothers to bury sons. You know, there's not a lot of, and back to last week with rapper Forte, I'll always love my mama, like, which is a remake of an earlier song. But that sentiment needs to be celebrated. Mothers need to be celebrated all the time and valued. Even with the women's lib movement, what it did, it empowered women, at the same time had women looking down on women who saw raising families as careers, and both women in out in commerce and in the quote unquote world, working scientists, astrophysicists. Of course, we wouldn't have so much shit without brilliant female minds. But women who choose to stay home are just as important and just as valuable. Women who do both are just as, like, everyone is valuable, and what they choose. As long as you're putting effort and love into what you do, I feel like you should be valued. As in American society, sometimes if you're not making money, you're not valued. And so many artists, even today, I'm going to sidebar again, caught up in this. How much did you make? And I can go direct to fan and generate this revenue. Great. But is your art fucking valuable? People are devaluing art. No, they're making the monetary value of art less. But are you pushing the culture forward with your art? Is it valuable to someone in their fucking life? Is it spiritually valuable? Is it causing them to think? Is it changing thought processes? Is it speaking out against abuse and authority? And is it even pushing is it just a new style of rap? Is it pushing, at the bare minimum, is it pushing hip hop culture forward? If you can't do anything for someone's family or their soul or their struggle or empathize, can you push this culture forward with a new style? I don't give a fuck how much you made going direct to fan just on that. Did you make more people want to, like, do something? Like, cool. Are you motivating them? You know, I love, motivational rap and speak. I love all that. But there's just people who are just so about the value of music, and Spotify's going to give us this much. So what, man? Is the art valuable? Because art has only been worth money, or the record business has only existed for a century. Music has been around for tens of thousands of years, I believe. Is it valuable in the purest form? If she's still alive, shoot a call to your mama. The fight and the drama is just not worth it. None of us worthless, none of us perfect. We all got a place and we all got a purpose. Now I'm not taking y'all to Sunday service, but you clap your hands as you stand up and worship. Work or something like your grandmother used to do that fan down at worship. For those of y'all not in a part of the culture, like they have fans when you walk into a black church. Usually has a pastor, Martin Luther King, American flag, a mortuary, something on it. It's a popsicle stick stapled to a piece of cardstock, glossy paper if you're lucky, and has a funeral home or something on the back. And you can fan yourself because churches didn't have air conditioning in the South. I grew up going to church in the summers in Deep South. Definitely, at my great-grandfather and my grandfather's church, there's no fucking air conditioning, so I understand I'm waving my hand as I do it. That fan is vital, but really just circulating hot-ass air. But it's better than being in the hot-ass air with no fan and dealing with the gnats. But they have them in some black churches in inner cities where there's no AC, or when it just gets too damn hot for the AC because people are jumping, sweating, screaming, hollering, catching the Holy Ghost, which is... Man, I wish, funny enough, but like if there was a pure way to have that be the Olympic sport, man, there's some sisters that get down despite their weight and height. When they get, you have to be spiritually charged to move that type of physical frame in the way some of these women and men move their bodies. If that doesn't give you faith in the unseen, I don't know what will. That doesn't give you faith in Jesus. Seeing sister such and such get up with her cankles and do a 180 in the splits, and not tear her dress and her wig stay on, bruh, and still hold that fan. So if you're an expert, usually definitely black woman in the church, you will have your own fan that, like one of the, as they say back in the Oriental fans, maybe actually from the actual Orient, if that's a place, but Asian fan that, like the kabuki, geisha, whatever, and I'm probably saying something offensive. Forgive me. I grew up in the 1900s. I'm learning that. Just educate me. And then you ever see a sister like pull that out, like, and then like there's a motion. Like my motion of the fan is slow. They have a flutter. There's a flutter when your auntie can do it. I just saw a brother on Instagram go to like someplace in Mexico where it's like 1 million butterflies at this one time of year nest there. And then when they all take off in the morning, it makes this sound. That's the sound of the hyper-focused, skilled, and with the auntie that'll catch you, hit you with a shoe or throw something at you or shoot you a look when you're doing something. Man, I can only imagine the trouble kids get into on their phones in church these days. Let me try to bring a Game Boy to church. My dude. Sneak a headphone through my suit into my ear and like sit with my hand on my thing. My hand on my ear. Okay, guys. Hiding the Walkman in my pants, in my nuts. Okay? Stringing the cord of the headphones. This is back when they were the foam headphones. Okay? I wasn't a very affluent kid, but even then it was still technology was limited. You could pop off the ear, slide that through your suit down your arm. If I had a suit that happened to have the pocket behind the inside pocket, I could put the Walkman there, slide it through there, and then just cup my hand and pull my my long sleeve shirt sleeve over the headphone and then lean on my head in church. That was as slick as I could get. But that sister with the fan could catch me doing that and point to you like, I'm not going to disrupt the service, but I'm going to tell your mama afterwards. This sister I'm talking with very big. I just talked to my grandmother this morning, and she was saying, "You remember my grandmother was the cafeteria lady at my high school, the manager of the cafeteria." So that was how I was partially able to get into the school I went to. But she's a Jehovah's Witness. I never got free food. Never. Unless somebody worked for her snuck me something. Or it was a day old. My grandmother does not steal. She does not lie. I've said this on the podcast. This is why this album is clean. Because my grandmother, as far as I'm concerned, since she had been 48 years old, has been a saint. We just discussed the Bible before I got on this microphone. This woman, she described one. You remember her? She was tall and she was hippie. I was like, hippie? I never heard my grandmother. Does my grandmother even know what a hippie is? No, hippie like the hips, baby, the hips, her hips. She had big hips. So the hippie, my grandmother's not the one. My grandmother's a Jehovah's Witness. She does not have a fan. She does not sing like that in church. She does not play about church. There's no Holy Ghost Olympics in the J-Dubs, as we call them, in the J-Dub sector. Okay, at the Kingdom Hall is where they meet. You're not going to get these type of antics at the J-Dubs, Kingdom Hall. However, you will get it at a Pentecostal, Baptist, whatever faith, black church. You will get it at a typical, traditional black Baptist Southern church. And they will be a hippie lady with big, big hips, wide, big rear end, not in the BBL sexy way. And I had a lot of kids and ate a lot of ham hock, chitlins way. Lots of Kool-Aid and sweet tea way, fried chicken way. So that woman dancing around, spread it, pop it, wave it in my face, put your hands around your waist, like rock it to the bass. That was just me freestyling my way out. And speaking of barbershop last week, I think I freestyled that verse about Frisco and Filmo because Ninth was rushing me. And I think it was maybe one of the last songs we did because my voice is, I forgot to say that last week. But yeah, definitely Mayfield inspired. I think I was listening to Mayfield just yesterday. Just inspiring, uplifting rap. 3 different topics, all kind of a story within each. The video, LPs in the video, and the girl I mentioned before, the girl that I started dating. So I did start dating her around this time. We did a video. This is a video filmed on film. I never thought about it, but once I did Animal Style and I kissed a man in that video, people start going back to this video, and I'm in bed with another man, and people never think my brother is my brother, but it's my fucking brother. And I'm thinking people would know it's my brother. I never thought like, oh, they think I'm sharing a bed with a man. I never thought about it. Filmed at my mama's house in the neighborhood. I say I grew up in the neighborhood I spent the most time in Midtown. The girl I was dating at the time. And this starts off and on. This is, I think, around now, just for future references, is 05. I'm writing this album. So, yeah, 06 when it came out, we were started dating. Around then, that's when I started writing the breakup song in 06, which doesn't come out to 08. But she's in the video. LP's in the video. My old DJ, Magi's in the video. Yeah, I think that's it. All make cameos in the video. I wish I could promote. I could show people I know the guy from Run the Jewels now. Moving on, we're gonna move on to Dreamchaser. I don't believe we made it.
I'm only 9 on the block. Fell into the liquor store with $2 in my sock. Say cuz when I talk, pants sag when I walk. Bumping K-Day, just discovered hip-hop. I play Pop Warner and I love Transformers. But you see the big homie standing out on the corner. He got real guns, not the ones from G.I. Joe. He feared and respected like everywhere we go. Can't wait till I'm 10 and I get jumped in. You should see the tattoo he gave himself with the pen. He did it in a pen like 3 years ago when he just got home. Now he bigger than before, lifting weights in the yard. Way too hard, been shot 5 times, even let me touch the scars. I could ride in his car when I get from the hood. A fresh eye rock with a dope Kenwood. 215s and his curl on sheen. A big booty freak with some airbrush jeans. Don't this put the hood in your childhood dreams? Growing up these days ain't as easy as it seems. We live life like death ain't a thing. Fear and respect we collect like kings. Relieve stress with every breath I sing.
Top 3 moments I've been mad at Ninth Wonder. Little girl that goes to my son's school knows that I'm a rapper. She asked me questions. She ran to the fence yesterday and she asked me, what is your biggest regret? This is a 5th grader. I love this young lady. I'm like, what do you mean, mama? Like, what is something? I was like, I don't have about being a rapper. I was like, I don't regret anything about being a rapper. It's what I always wanted to be. And she's like, well, what's something that you regretted having to do in the studio that you didn't want to do? And I was like, how do you know to ask this question? I was like, man, I get mad at my producers a lot, but I always listen to them. And it's made some of my best songs. There's a lot of tension on this record because keep in mind that I think LA is the next song. LA, I hated this beat. And he was forcing me to rap to it. I said, my nigga, you have lots of other beats, cuz just give me another beat, bro. What the fuck? I don't like this one. Anybody else, you're going to give them a beat tape. He said, you know, we made this agreement. You got to stick to it. I'm like, bruh. Anything but this beat. And it's the beat for LA, which ends up being my biggest song. One of my biggest songs. So I already have that tension. I said, okay, that'll be I'm gonna do that song last. When we do that, we'll do that song and the intro, the last songs. I'll do these other 8. Man, this is a song, once again, like Bad Man, and I forget what else we talked about, but I stayed up all night. There's a 3rd verse to Dreamchaser. There's a fucking 3rd verse. There's a last verse. I messed up on some fool from the other side when the stripes.
Got my mama scared of me, and she's the only woman that would ever dare to love me. Respect from my peers on the set 10 years, bonafide, so I hide my regrets and my fears. On the front porch buzzing, hot is probably why I didn't even see him coming. 5 rounds to the chest, now I'm fighting for my life, cause some fool from the other side wanted stripes.
I said, fuck. He said, that's it. That was all that what you hear is the first take of the song. And then he cut me off and made me just fix it. There's little punches where you can hear where I fix it. And I was so proud of this hook. Oh my God, it was a meaningful, dope hook. And I know I was right about that. This could have been a 3-verse song. People tell me how much they love this song. And if I only get to say the hook, well, the hook is great. This is a good hook.
We live life like death ain't a thing. Fear and respect we collect like kings. Relieve stress with every breath I sing. And we all chase money cause we scared to chase dreams. 19.
We live life like death ain't a thing. Fear and respect we collect like kings. Relieve stress with every breath I sing. And we all chase money cause we scared to chase dreams. This is before Dreamchaser's music and all that, I think. Come on, bro. When I wrote that, I was like, whoo, it's a moment. We get to Love and Rockets when we'll talk about Ski, but Ski talks about writing the hook for Lucchini and his emotion. He was like, they were doing what they're doing. I was just like, this is it. What? And he was walking around the studio, and that's how he came up with that hook. This is a hook, like Hustle. Like, this is one of those hooks, and I didn't get to do it twice. So it's not a hook. It's just a part of the fucking song, bro. Because Knight doesn't really have hooks in his beats. Like, it's not a kind of, but man, it wasn't like, life, ooh, turn your back on, used to be. So I'm hearing life, turn your back on, used to be. So I'm like, that's the words I'm drawing off of when I write the song. I'm only 9, on the block, belling to the liquor store with $2 in my socks. Say cuz when I talk, pants sag when I walk, bumping K-Day, just discover hip-hop. This is me. I play Pop Warner. I love Transformers. You see the big homie standing out on the corner. He got real guns, not the ones from G.I. Joe. He feared and respected like everywhere we go. This is my life in Lynwood, California. We moved out of the apartments on Hoover in North Hollywood, and we moved to Lynwood. First day I meet my stepbrother, we blended family. My stepfather has part-time custody of his 16-year-old son. And who hoops, he's not in the streets like that. And but his homies are, because everybody in the neighborhood is from Neighborhood Crip in Hood Lynwood. And I'm going into names and details because there's so many people, I know so many, but there's certain people out there trying to assassinate my character. Like, I don't fucking come from this shit, bro. I'm not trying to make this shit up. He says, yo, they got a little homie, you guys should play together. Cool. He comes over. What's your favorite color? My favorite color, red, because the dude used to babysit me in the apartments on Hoover was a blood. And he had me saying blood, 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 blood. But I was like 4 or 5. Like, I didn't, And then he got locked up, and so I didn't see him. But but my favorite color was red. I said red color, and he took off on me. Little boy, we're 7 years old. Bop, he took off on me, and we squabbled. We boo 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 boo. Nobody stopping it. We're on the front porch of my stepfather's house. My little brother's scared to come outside or what. I don't know what he's doing. And boom, 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 pins me down. He's like, all right, your favorite color is blue now. That was it. Turned out. Just what is this? Now I get to, at the apartments, there's like one black, there were only a couple black people. The guy babysat me, his mother and his sister. And then it was like a lot of Latino families on the block, which is a whole nother issue. This is where I'm like, okay, this is all black folk. And this is what we do. I'm learning, like, okay, I want to play football. My mom's like, you can't play tackle football. I was like, you can't do this to me. So yeah, I love Pop Warner. I love the Dodgers. I love Transformers. Shout out to Skybound Comics. If you're not reading, they're revamping the Transformers universe. Or not revamping, but it's comics. If you read comics, the Energon universe is being born with G.I. Joe and Transformers in the same universe called the Energon universe. They have Cobra Commander, Duke, Transformers, and another comic called Void Rivals. If you buy 4 comics a month, make it those. I do. Still love Transformers. Still talk to Crips every day. My kids love Transformers. They hopefully have nothing to do with gangbanging, but I couldn't make this shit up. Still love hip hop. Bumping K-Day, just discover hip hop. I play Pop Warner. I love Transformers. You see the big homie right there on the corner. He got real guns, not the ones from G.I. Joe. He's feared and respected like everywhere we go. Transformers have guns. G.I. Joe have guns. Bruce Leroy, he can fight. Like, this guy has guns. He can fight. He looks really cool. He listens to rap. He used to play Pop Warner football. He used, like the Boys in the Hood thing, like he throws the ball far, like like they'll play catch with you for a second. Like our fathers, or my stepfather not my dad. He's not my dad. I've never met my dad. I don't remember my dad. My stepfather goes to work still in the valley, in the San Fernando Valley from Lynwood, California every day. He's up early because he's a plant manager. He has to open the gates for the teachers. He comes home, he's tired, he's drunk, he's an asshole. I don't see that dude. My stepbrother plays basketball. He's going to basketball camps. He's eventually going to get a scholarship to a university for playing basketball. He's not hanging out with me. But you know who is? Cuz. Cuz is there every day. Clean white t-shirt, crisp Dickies, knots of money like I've never seen before. Also, I hear him getting busy not getting off section, but like, we hear the gunshots in the alley behind the house every night, like active. Man, and he's still alive. He had a shootout last night. Whoa. The helicopter was looking for him. Like, all this attention. He has attention. I can't get attention from my parents. Why? Because they're fucking working to afford this place that's supposed to be a nice neighborhood, a nice school district where I go to school, and I just saw something where I get taught by white people who don't know anything about fucking black people, because in their generation, they weren't even allowed to talk to black people. So this white woman is now teaching a classroom full of black people. There are no black men at that school for me to look at. The only person of color is my principal, who's Japanese. But that cuz is there. He is that guy. He's swole like Hulk Hogan. He's actually in shootouts like fucking Duke and fucking Roadblock and fucking Bazooka. Man, are you kidding me? They're pumping violence into our house, even with the Dodgers, and like they're pumping like camaraderie, teamwork, all these things. Like, all these things fit right in the gang banging. America, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, do for yourself, make your own money, sell crack. We're not even seeing the effects of crack. We don't know how bad this shit is for us yet. It's 88, 89, 87. Man, I just want quarters to go to the Lynwood Bowl and pay Karate Champ and Kung Fu. More fighting, more violence. So I can play football, more violence. Take his head off. Put his dick in the dirt. I'm hearing that from the time I'm fucking 6, 7 years old, bro. I'm cooked. Tell me I'm making this shit up, man. He feared and respected like everywhere we go. Can't wait till I'm 10 and I get jumped in. We used to sit, we have sleepovers at the homie's house. And his brother was real, like that was the hood house. So everybody was there. We watched people get put on and we were just like the elbows. Like, yo, that's Transformers go away next year. We go to Hostler Junior High and we are active. We're getting put on a set. That's no question. In my mind, bro, there's not a single solitary doubt. 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, we were waiting to get to 6th grade. I went to fucking elementary school with two 15-year-olds. A 15-year-old that had finger waves and the first Air Maxes. I still want them. They were purple and white. Both of them could dunk a basketball. Gangbangers. Because there was not this No Child Left Behind, push people forward. You flunked until you were 16 and you couldn't be on campus with minors anymore. You repeated the 5th grade that many times. This is what I'm seeing, man. I don't know there's a fucking HBCU. I don't know what the fuck that is. You grow up and you become a fucking crip. That's it. There's no black teachers. You don't become a black teacher. I could become a plant manager like my stepfather and bust my ass and come home tired and drunk and high. I could work at the dry cleaners with my grandmother and my grandfather and my mother and drive a hatchback Datsun with primer on the side. Fuck you mean? I want an IROC. This American, this Punky Brewster shit and Silver Spoon shit I'm seeing on TV. These toys, these Thundercats and shit. If I want this shit, if I want these Air Max, fuck I'm gonna do, man. Man, I want a new skateboard like Tony Hawk. I see this in the magazines. And then I see the price. You know, fortunately, my mom had me on chores and shit, and I could earn, and they would like match me. I was matching money for my Christmas presents in the 5th grade, bro, which is great. But I don't hear that often. But it paid dividends when I was selling my own music. Can't wait till I'm 10 and I get jumped in. You should see the tattoo he gave himself. This is before tattoos were cool. If you had a tattoo, you were a social outcast. Let's not forget, man. Before the NBA had tattoo, what's they call it? Dudes look like Chipotle bags. When before Allen Iverson's cornrows were the most controversial thing. His cornrows, not his tattoos, his cornrows. And that was 2000, right? This is 1986, 87, 88, 89. The Batarang knocked down a house the Batarang is a tank. Shout out to Toddy T for making that song, who now I think coaches Pop Warner football, funny enough, in Snoop's league. Knocked down a house that we walk by every day. It's a tank with a big metal plate on the end. Instead of giving coke dealers the time to flush the toilet, to crack down the toilets, they would just, or doing gun battle with them, they would push the house over. I'm seeing this. It's not something I'm hearing in rap, bro. It's not something I'm reading in a magazine. Gangsta rap is still an idea. It's not even real yet. Boys in the Hood drops after I experience a lot of this. And that's why I identify with Boys in the Hood, because I'm like, whoa, this is how I feel seen. By another, once again, not by my parents, not by my teachers. I feel seen by Eazy-E because he's saying what I'm seeing and I'm living.
Woke up quick at about noon, just thought that I had to be in Compton soon. I gotta get drunk before the day begins, before my mother starts bitching about my friends. About to go and damn near went blind. Young niggas at the pad throwing up gang signs. Ran in the house and grabbed my clip with the Mac 10 on the side of my hip. Bailed outside and pointed my weapon. Just as I thought, the fools kept stepping.
Feared and respected everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. My mom and dad aren't even that way. They're respecting it a different way, but they don't have clout. This dude has clout. Tattoo he gave himself with the pen. We're trying to give each other, taking big pens and writing NHC on our hands and our arms and shit, bro. We're getting indoctrinated. He did it in the pen like 2 years ago. He just got home. Now he bigger than before they took the weights out. Now he bigger than before. I look at Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I look at Randy Savage. I look at Paul Orndorff. I look at Lex Luger. I look at these people. I don't even know if Lex Luger was around. Sergeant Slaughter, Hulk Hogan, like Dr. Death, Steve Williams, my favorite wrestler at the time. He is huge. He's jacked up. Jacked, bro. Who is jacked like him? As far as I know, there's no steroids in the penitentiary. This is natural. Like, when you see Zeus was the first black man I saw wrestling like that. Ron Simmons, if you could get that channel. The Natural, Butch Reed, like these people, huge. Even the other black men I see on TV, the people on like football players, Lawrence Taylor, Mike Singletary, they're huge. Who can I touch that's like that? This dude, cuz. Or blood, like if you're if you're on another side of the neighborhood. Now he bigger than before, lifting weights in the yard. He way too hard. Been shot 5 times, even less we touch the scar. Like, it's real. You get shot. Oh, this is also, a lot more rappers die these days because I don't know if there's more guns, but they're bigger guns. There's Dracos, extended clips, the black, whatever the fuck they talk about. The pole, it's a stick, it's a pole. So of course, you can indiscriminately spray when you shoot 223s. It's huge bullets. You're gonna damage people. There's no sewing that up. But back then, motherfuckers was still pop, 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 deuce, deuce. If you had a Desert Eagle, you was doing big shit, shotgun, but with buckshot. Like, you could live and have the buckshot spray and like even. But then you look at Africa where they give each other like the knife scars and the there's like little bumps on their skin, like. Genetics, bro, for thousands of years, that's been a symbol of respect in some tribes. I don't know if I'm from that tribe, but those keloid scars are scars of a warrior. Warriors have honor for us for centuries and thousands of years. It's tapping into that. That tribalism is also tapping into that. Fuck the sports. Let's go deeper. Let's go back to Africa. So these keloid scars and tattoos and shit, the crip walking, it's all African. These are warriors. they've found a way to funnel all this into the prison to pipeline system. We'll prey on their desire to be a part of the tribe, to be warriors. You know, shout out to the sheriff's department. If I didn't start boxing, man, who knows? But also that just gave me also more confidence. Like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? It gave me more ability to get down. Made me less afraid. Now we can talk about that too. It's like, I was on Quali's podcast. He was saying, sounds like Stockholm syndrome, that I respect that my mother beat my ass. But when I was held accountable for what I wore, what I said. Motherfucker, like, you don't say cuss. All right. Like, I'm used to, like, if you say the wrong thing, then we getting down. I know what the fuck I said. Like, how do you take it? And what are you going to do? It's not that big a deal to me. It's just a fucking word. If you ask me not to say it, I'm not going to say it. But if it offends you so much, take off. That's how we grew up. I'm not saying it thinking that that's not what it is, bro. But I think we're all old enough to be over that shit, man. This is just how I talk. But I've also, like, learned from a very young age, from the streets and at home. You do something, you say something, you got to stand on business. So when my mom used to call me and be like, yo, the teacher said, blah, 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 come in here and get this whooping, I had to go in there. Like, when I heard growing up in the hood, I felt even more seen. Stacking to the house so I could collect my whooping. So what? I was gone, bro. I was saying cuz to my mama.
Quick off the stairs, so little sucker, stop looking. Stagger to the house so I can collect my whooping. But watch out, cause a little nigga's up to no good. Growing up in the hood. Ain't nothing but bitches and money. Cause in the city, you live and let die. Bitches and money.
Met a man that's running to be judge. Let me shout him out, man, in Los Angeles. And we talked for so long. Judge George. The people's judge, Judge George Turner for judge. And we talked, man. He gave me some statistics. In the past 50 years, California has built 23 prisons and 1 university. People were alarmed at what's going on in Chicago, and it's horrendous. In the summer of 1987, when we were outside, I was 9 years old. This summer, I'm talking about kind of in this song. There are 800 deaths in the city of Los Angeles, or Los Angeles County, due to gang violence. 1,500 that year in the county of Los Angeles. You would tell me I don't have PSD, or I'm not really from. I hear so much stuff. Like, when I signed to this label, the people at the labels are like, "Oh, you think you're tough? You because you're from the hood. Well, what about Rwanda?" I'm like, motherfucker, I understand poverty and civil war. I don't understand the insanity of someone who has a front and a backyard ready to kill someone because they say the wrong initials. That's insanity. Where we have to sell poison to our own people to get out of a situation which really just sends us to jail, or we have to rap about it and celebrate it and dance with each other while we talk about it as therapy to sell it to get out. And that's only a few of us. Or dribble this ball for entertainment of our oppressors. That creates a certain type of insanity because the TV pipes in all this shit to you and tells you it's fucking available. It's possible. And the fucked up thing about LA is Hollywood is 15 minutes fucking away from damn near any hood. 20 minutes. But it's so far away. That divide is what creates this type of insanity, man. To me, along with earthquakes, if you want to get spiritual, we're quick to jump because you can feel a blizzard coming. Here, tornado, hurricane, it builds. Earthquake is instant and it shakes the very foundation you're on. We are very quick to judge. We are very sensitive. We're very quick to set it off. It's a culture. It's crazy. It is insanity. This is what I'm describing. This is what I set up all night working to have Ninth Wonder tell me, fuck your third verse. Like, fuck it, Snoop. Fuck your fort, little nigga. Fuck your third verse.
Built your little fort, huh? Fuck about your little fort, nigga.
I hate you.
I hate you too, little nigga.
Oh, man. Shot 5 times, he would let me touch the scars. I could ride in his car when I get from the hood.
Way too hard, been shot 5 times, even let me touch the scars. I could ride in his car when I get from the hood. A fresh eye rock with a dope Kenwood. 2 15s and his curl on sheen. A big booty freak with some airbrush jeans. Don't this put the hood in your childhood dreams. Growing up these days ain't as easy as it seems. We live life like death ain't a thing. Fear and respect we collect like kings.
Scars from when he was stabbed. I think that's what I actually touched. A fresh eye rock with a dope Kenwood. Very rare that you met a dope dealer that was a gangster. So I'm stretching here a bit. But both of these images, I can still see the eye rock to the day. My son saw, like, why? Why is that important to you? I was like, oh, give this his thing. So I had a cold ass eye rock Z, and I was like, ooh. He was like, okay. Ducatis, Lambos, what is the thing he saw that Bugatti, never seen a Bugatti, he just seen because rappers say it. But yeah, the eye rock is just not as impressive as a Bugatti. Well, the dope Kenwood, the pull-out stereo. You saw somebody had a pull-out stereo. You had to be that dude, number one, to walk around with your stereo and not get it taken. There wasn't a lot of gold chains and stuff visible. You had to be that motherfucker for real. The chains and shit, it wasn't part of West Coast street culture. It was, but it wasn't prevalent like it was in New York because there were so many guns and so much violence and gangbanging out here that I just don't think that it was possible. But I could be wrong. If I can go around the corner and ask somebody who knows if I'm going to get a fact check. 2 15s and his curl on sheen, a big booty freak with some airbrush jeans. Don't put the hood in your childhood dreams. This was all I was thinking about. Kind of wanted to like be a football player, kind of wanted to be a skater, kind of wanted to be a rapper, but the goal that was attainable was being a Crip. And a Crip that was with all the bullshit. That was within my grasp and my choice to make. And that gave me some type of power in a situation. I'm a powerless kid. My mom and dad beat me. My 5th grade teacher's a wicked white bitch and full of shit. The girls call me ugly. I'm on the swings. I was talking about this on film. I'm on the swings and a Mexican dude pulled a little switchblade out and told me to get off the swings, bro. I'm in elementary school, bro. There's fences all around us. I want power. I want some type of control. I just got moved from my apartment to some other neighborhood. I'm second string of football. I'm little. I'm scary at this point. I'm like, I'll fight, but like, man, why are we hitting like the way that people would hit each other on the head? I'm just like, I'm still, man, so much going on. So over those 3-4 years I spent in that situation, there was a lot, man. And I'm fucking sugared and red 40 and McDonald's out of my fucking mind, bro. Even the fucking thing my stepfather's bringing home the LAUSD milk and juices because we're saving to get the fuck out of here. Everything, I thought we were on welfare because everything in our fridge was LAUSD. It was just he was stealing. When I got older, it's like, Mom, how do I know about welfare cheese if we weren't on welfare? It's because it was state government cheese coming in because my chocolate milk was from the school. Milk for cereal, open up 3 or 4 of them cartons. Like, bro, I was poisoned inside and out thoroughly. So I don't judge my brothers, and I understand it. I hate when we have to judge each other on who's real or who's not or whatever. You know, it's hard for all of us, man. But a lot of us, I was there. Shirley Avenue, Lynwood, California, brother. I was there at a very impressionable age, and thank God we were able to, I don't say thank God, but my babysitter, my older friend that used to come and stay with us when my parents left town. I think, I forgot, like I said, they stabbed his math teacher, and my parents were like, we got to get the fuck out of here. That's where I was signed up to go to school. That's it. So the second verse isn't about me because I escaped. Second verse is kind of about my friend I was rapping about on Yesterday and Today. It's about a brother of a friend. And seeing him grow up and seeing that could have been me.
We live life like death ain't a thing. Fear and respect we collect like kings. Relieve stress with every breath I sing. And we all chase money cause we scared to chase dreams. 19, Almost 20 years old, cut the baby curl, now I got an afro. Cornrows, some say French braids. Weed and robbery's the only way I get paid. Couldn't slang crack, OGs do that. So money hungry, wouldn't front me a sack. That's why these old timers keep getting jacked. I'm full-time banging, ain't no turning back. Dropped out of school, no GED. But in these streets, I'm a G.O.D. Enemies tell they BG stories about me. A nightmare when I'm off that P. That's why they always run when they see me in the streets. Known to beat them down straight, take they heat. What about the police, man? Even they scared when I see her hit the block. I put 2 in the air. Got my mama scared of me, and she's the only woman that would ever dare to love me. Respect from my peers on the set 10 years. Bonafide, so I hide my regrets and my fears. On the front porch buzzing, hot is probably why I didn't even see him coming. 5 rounds to the chest, now I'm fighting for my life. Cause some fool from the other side wanted stripes.
Flatline, 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 flatline.
19, almost 20 years old. Cut the Jerry curl, now I got an afro. Cornrows, some say French braids. Weed and robbery's the only time I get paid. Couldn't slang crack, OGs do that. So money hungry wouldn't front me a sack. That's why these old timers keep getting jacked. I'm full-time banging, ain't no turning back. I'm coming home from tour, and the little homies in my neighborhood now are asking me for money to buy weed. I'm like, y'all don't sell weed? And then, like, we live in a hood, like, they got, then, writing the name of the gang all over the walls. They ain't giving y'all no income. And it was really not the 80s anymore. It was the era I grew up in where they were trying to put you on and really, like, continue some of the brotherhood. Because remember, this all comes from supposedly community revolution and progress, blood brothers. And I don't really go back to saying cuz really until I get to the Bay and everybody's blooding the hell out of me and they're not gangbangers. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I can say cuz back to you because I'm definitely not going to start saying blood because everything like blah, 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 hey, blah, 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 blah. I got blooded to death because and still when I'm living in Oakland, I'm a street kid. Like me and, Aesop are the only dudes like outside. I'm on Telegraph selling weed and tapes. Like I'm still in the streets, so to speak. Fringe streets, but definitely as far as Oakland goes, there's not much deeper you can get in the streets unless you in crack and coke and pimping. But I'm around people who sell and do all that because once you're in, weed was still a part of the underworld. It was fringe, but it was still, so I'm still operating. So everybody blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, cuz like you gonna know I'm from LA because I'm gonna cuz the fuck out of you because y'all blooding the hell out of me. And I ain't been blooded since I was 6 years old. Like my mom doesn't really wear a lot of red. Like it's just it is not that my mom's involved, but just maybe it's subconsciously for me and my brother. But so it was weird to me. So that's when for people who are checking my credibility and whatever, like I didn't really go back to all that. I got heavy on it because it was more of a LA thing than it was a gang thing. And I just couldn't get with blood. And they would crack up when I was cousin. They're like, So it wasn't offensive there. And that's why I learned that it was a word of camaraderie. It was a bond. Like I could say, they say blood, I say cousin, we're good. When the police come or when somebody come and got a problem, we all together. No matter who said blood or I love that, man. And that's kind of where it came back from me. But my generation was different from the generation previous. And there may have been one generation of Bloods and Crips before the generation before me. But it was like in the prison system, there was a brotherhood. There was some progressive things about it. It was about community at some point. And I'm not making this fuck me. Like I got a valid source that I recorded this podcast 100 feet away from that gives me knowledge and tells me about those days, like what real Crippin' was for him before he got sent up to do 30 years. Like it's changed. So when I'm seeing these kids, 19 or 20 years, weed and robbery is the only way I get paid. And it really wasn't even selling weed, but couldn't sell crack or guns that some people were selling because the OGs weren't either sharing. It's kind of like they became the real capitalists as we see people get laid off at corporations that are having record years in sales and money, but laying off hundreds of people because they want to even increase their bottom line. Like that's the thing about capitalism. If you're not careful or disciplined, it could come in that. And I think a lot of people who choose a street life aren't disciplined. They stop with the Dickies. Like you used to have the Dickie at Dickie's Crease. Like you couldn't be outside repping the hood looking tore up, not in your uniform. Like there was certain things that were aesthetics and things and that weren't carried on as the years went on because they wanted it to be less like a revolutionary organization, a community organization, and more how quickly can we get you in a grave or in jail? And it worked. So the OGs weren't passing down opportunities like they used to. And I saw these young men who are warriors and really about that life, nothing to do. So you become a better warrior, which helps the OGs make more money. You become a better killer. You know, it's just like the cops. They become better cops to put more people in jail because their big homies, which are the government, aren't letting them. You know, rarely do you see an officer that gets to graduate to a senator or a councilman. You have a couple, but it's rare, man. They're getting pushed down on and kept in the same place. So you just want to make your bosses happy so you can get a raise, get promoted to sergeant, whatever, lieutenant, whatever the game is. That's a game I definitely don't know. So you can get your pension and get the fuck out of there. That's what it seems. There's no upward mobility for the kids on the street or the kids or the young people or the men and women in the police cars, really. They're trying to get to a pension, and honestly, I sometimes wonder what these young men are really getting for I think they're trying to get life in jail, but I don't know if that's really what they're actively pursuing. I don't know what you're actively pursuing if you're an active gang member. I think you're trying to find some type of shit that'll kill the rage. But I've heard of people holding that rage for decades. That's still on the shoot up the rivals on the anniversary of a loved one. It's people in their 40s. Shit that happened in their teens, they're still holding the torch active. So I don't know what they're trying to achieve. I don't know if they know what they're trying to achieve. But then they start jacking the people from the hood, and then it becomes a problem. But is it really a problem, or should you be giving work to the youngsters? I'm full-time band-aid, no turning back, dropped out of school, no GED, but in these streets, I'm a G.O.D. Enemies tell they BG stories about me. A nightmare when I'm off that PCP. The little homies I knew, bro, motherfuckers would come up and like try to shoot them with their eyes closed because they would come up on them and then see them and like, oh shit. Hearing stories about your little homies, getting the enemies, the ops got the drop on them. But when the enemy saw who it was, they were just spinning the block. Whoever's outside is about to get it. And then they see who it is, and this motherfucker is putting so much work in your hood and beat up so many motherfuckers and murder so many fuckers that you see him and you got the drop on him with the gun, and then you get scared and he can beat your ass and take your gun. That's the type of motherfucker I'm talking about. It's not a person I made up. The stories I heard from this individual and a couple other homies are wow. But you just become this machine because there's nothing else for you to become, I think. You become a street legend. What about the police, man? Even they scared. I see him hit the block, I put 2 in the air. I can't make it up. Got my mama scared of me because she's the only woman that would ever dare to love me. This is, to me, some of the best writing I've ever done, and I don't give a fuck. Just describing the mentality. This is not about anybody specific, but this is it. Got my mama scared of me, and she the only woman that would ever dare to love me. Respect from my peers on the set 10 years. Bonafide cause I hide my regrets and my fears.
Got my mama scared of me, and she's the only woman that would ever dare to love me. Respect from my peers on the set 10 years. Bonafide so I hide my regrets and my fears. On the front porch buzzing, hot is probably why I didn't even see him coming. 5 rounds to the chest, now I'm fighting for my life cause some fool from the other side wanted stripes.
It kind of describes everything I've been trying to say for the past hour. The baby's moms, like nobody wants to say shit to these type of individuals. They run unchecked because when you try to, like I described having a conversation, my homie passed away. I'm like, bro, why, how did we get here where you're now actively banging? Like I knew you were in the hood, from the hood, but for real? Like you banging now? Like your name's on the wall? Like you outside? And we got music to do? Yeah, cuz this blah, 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 blah crip, nigga. To me? Your business partner? This is how do we get here? Because it has to run unchecked. I can't, what am I supposed to do now? Do I not start this business with him? Do I get in an altercation with him? Do I win that altercation? Does that change the dynamic? Does he shoot me after that? I don't think so. We've been in fights before. Like what is, like where do you go with that? Who's going to check this person? Who has an opportunity to offer them that's better when I do check you? Nah, fuck that. We ain't doing that. We doing this. What? We 19 now. We're going to community college? In what hood? You done put in this much work for the set. It hasn't set in. This is where I would get to the third verse. It hasn't set in, funny enough, that nobody cares. And the person you've been chasing on your rival side is more like you than the buster ass niggas that you grew up with claiming the same hood. That won't front you a sack, that won't put you on. But there's somebody on the other side that has the same heart as you, that's dedicated. And that's why you guys are so at it. But actually, he's more a man of his word. He's more inclined to help. But we can't work together. He has the same interests. Like, y'all could start a fucking office cleaning business, work cleaning business. I saw so many of my other little homies do things like that I was so proud of, man. Like vending machines, a restaurant. There's so much you could do if you expand your scope of friends. Like, you're not going to, we talked about a couple episodes ago, my homeboy Pedro, who taught me a little bit of 5% stuff. He was amazing. You're A alike, you B alike, so you C alike. C meaning the third eye, B like being alike, and you A alike because you are alike. A alike. You're not gonna find your A alike if you limit the person you could build with. Like, I wouldn't have found Eli and Scarab or Ninth Wonder. Like, the way we connect is uncanny. Like, but if you put gangs around potential allies or best friends or business partners, people who create empires together, they'll never connect. They'll always be at odds. But if everyone found their cohort or their comrade, and it wasn't limited to the people that lived in this radius, we'd be so much better off as a community. Who could you have worked with if you weren't rivals with for some imaginary reason? And that's exactly what they wanted. They meaning the U.S. fucking government. I'm not being fucking vague. It's documented. Watch Snowfall or something. Read a book, motherfucker. But I'll do a song about it later called The Science.
So I'm at the barbershop, and we talking about this new generation of hip-hop and how lost y'all are, man. But y'all don't have no science. So here you go. The systematic knowledge of the physical world gained through observation and experimentation. Usually beginning with a hypothesis of what some may call an estimation. Record your results from a series of tests. And what you're left with is a theory at best. Now let me give my hypothesis an educated guess on why my people on the whole seem to be such a mess. The deliberate extermination of a race, culture, or an entire nation. Centuries ago they brought us here on a boat, enslaved us, beat us till our spirit was broke. Then they gave us freedom and a little bit of hope.
On the front porch buzzing, high, that's probably why I didn't even see him coming. 5 rounds to my chest now, fighting for my life, cause some food from the other side. When I tell you, he said that's it, that's the end of the song, there was an argument.
On the front porch buzzing, hot, that's probably why I didn't even see him coming. 5 rounds to the chest, now I'm fighting for my life, cause some fool from the other side wanted stripes.
Flatline, 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 flatline.
Lots of cuz probably said. I was hot. But people still loved the song. It got to the point I was still trying to make another Walk Like a Man. We didn't need to. I don't know, could Dreamchaser have been a better song? Are the Meek Mill Dreamchaser albums better? Yes. But it's still built on the same premise in Philly. Same, all this comes from the same thing. Philly is definitely someplace I feel a lot of LA energy. That's Dreamchasers. It did make it cute when he said use the flat line from Niggas for Life. I could dig it. It's plain to see. Like, I'm listening to that this summer. That 89, was it 89, 90? It's plain to see. You can't change me, cause I'ma be a nigga for life. Look.
It's plain to see. You can't change me, cause I'ma be a nigga for life. It's plain to see. You can't change me, cause I'ma be a nigga for life. It's plain to see. You can't change me, cause I'ma be a nigga for life. It's plain to see. You can't change me, cause I'ma be a nigga for life.
These are black men saying these things, black men from Compton that now have grown up. I am what they call day one or whatever. I forgot, I have to ask Todd, whatever. But I'm the core demographic. I am the NWA fan. I am P1, whatever the fuck it is. I am that consumer of NWA. And by the time they get to Niggas for Life, this is what they're saying. I'm intaking all of that, man. That piano There's something to it when they say it, but I don't think that there was somebody from the U.S. government making Dr. Dre, Ren, and Easy and Yella make this music. It was just, it had already started going, bro. And that's the sick part about it. I still love that song. And so when he said use a Flatline from that album, from that, of course. Now I feel great. I have an NWA, a vague like NWA stamp on this song, kind of about what create like, this is NWA. This is me. This is my Eazy-E song. I can't make it without truth and heart. But this is my form of an Eazy-E song. This is my Ice Cube song. This is my, you guys want to know what makes NWA possible? Like what a disciple of NWA looks like and how it winds up or halfway through. But yeah, the guy lives, and eventually, I think that was eventually finds out that, oh shit, these niggas from the hood don't write me. Because that's what I was experiencing. Like, oh, like, yeah, I'm the person showing up to take care of these little girls, to write the homies' brothers that's locked up. I'm the one, the weird cuz, the rapping nigga. I'm the one doing the work. I'm the one doing the daycare drop-offs. I'm the one, fixing the alternator on his ex-wife's car. Like, this is me now, not the hood. Whereas all the people that said they would die for you, that would kill for you, maybe. But I chose not to kill for my friend. I chose to live for my friend and encourage other people to live for their family and friends and themselves. I love y'all, and I'm out. Thanks for listening to the Best Rapper in LA podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you never miss an episode by subscribing on Spotify, Apple, wherever it is. If you like the show, leave a review on Apple Music or Spotify. And to support the podcast directly, go to patreon.com/MURS316, Murs316. See y'all next week. Peace.